pay a late fee. What are you talking about? I was eating Girl Scout cookies.
She didn't share.
No.
I would if I could.
Now I'm so hungry.
I ate like half a slice of pizza when I ran in to get the Girl Scout cookies, and then so that's the thing. So we have to go live by 8:10 for it to be broadcast to Facebook. You only have a 10-minute grace period. So that's why I always, I will go live by 8:10. Oh, where are you at, Sari? Sari said that YouTube won't work on the TV there. That's no good. Hi, Deborah. Look, Odalali's coming in with her fun questions again. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I am Kat, the nurse flipper, if you do not know. My co-host is back, Sonny, Las Vegas. We are happy to have him back. And below me are 2 of 3 of Picker Road, Harlene and Will. And then Catty Corner is Tina from Mother Tucker's Antiques. So I am going to make them big, let them introduce themselves, tell you where you can find them. And then we will get your questions. Make sure you get your questions in early. That way we can make sure we answer them. So here is Harlene and Will.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you to all of our people that have come over and joined in this fabulous live. And I want to say thank you to Kat and Sonny for having us. This is our first time on this podcast, and we are so excited. I am Harlene.
And I'm Will, and we are Picker Road. The third member of our team is Gary. We're a family of pickers, and we're based out of Las Vegas, just like Sonny. Sonny is a good friend of ours, and we love traveling the world, finding treasure. If you go back and look at our channel in the last 3 years, we just had our 3-year anniversary. We have been across the world. We've been to Japan, Switzerland, France, across America. We did the 1,000-mile yard sale across America, Hawaii, and we've got a lot more coming. We're going to be picking England, Spain, and Portugal later this year.
And Picker Road stands for fun, travel, community, and lots of treasure finding. We are treasure hunters.
Perfect.
And that's who we are.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tina from Mother Tucker's Antiques. Normally, you see my other half, my husband, Jason. He's the one who typically is on YouTube. But tonight, I'm honored to have Sonny and Kat invite me to be here. We do a whole lot of different things. The biggest thing we have is our brick and mortar in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. We're part of Antiques Capital USA. Our store, of course, is Mother Tucker's Antiques. We have a YouTube channel, and Jason does sell every Thursday night with his friend Enamor Amy on her channel here on YouTube. We do Wednesday night and Friday nights on Whatnot, eBay. We keep ourselves very busy. We don't travel, though. We try to stay in Pennsylvania because I'm too busy doing all the stuff around here, unfortunately, to travel. But I'm really excited to be here tonight, and I thank Kat and Sonny for having me.
Yeah, if you guys look back or search on my channel, I did a video in Mother Tucker's Antiques when I was up there. So I think it's been almost 4 years. Once Dalton started school, I used to go to Pennsylvania a lot to see Jocelyn and Dagny. And I haven't been able to, unfortunately, since school started, because it's a 14-hour drive. So it's not exactly a weekend trip.
Right.
Which I guess we could fly, but I like driving because I like filling cars up with stuff whenever I go somewhere. So I drive if I can. Vegas, I cannot. Last time I went to Vegas, Tiffany, Thrifting Vegas, was nice enough to mail me 4 big boxes of stuff I bought there. Tiffany put it in her car and mailed it all back to me. Thank goodness. So I filled up Tiffany's car when I was in Vegas is what I did. But let's see. Oh, Elena sent us a super chat. My good friend Treasure Diva Thrifts, who I'm super happy got her name back. She was having issues. She got a new phone and it was being a pain in the butt. So I'm happy she got her name back. And she said, hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday. And Elena likes the kitty cat super chat. So here it is.
That's so funny. It's her and cats.
We made that. So like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, we had guests that had cats that kept walking in front of them. So that is where the kitty cat super chat came from, because and Gino made it. Gino makes most of my super chat. But yeah, so we had to make a kitty cat super chat. All right.
Funny.
Rolling with the Stone says, does anyone know if the package specifics, the dimensions and weight on a listing impacts what the buyer is charged for eBay's international shipping program? My listings are normally not accurate because she does free shipping. So I don't know. But I think what they're saying is they aren't paying very close attention because they're not charging their customers for that shipping. So they're asking if that counts for international shipping.
Yeah, I usually, so for me, I don't offer a lot internationally if it's larger items. The only things that I ever really offer internationally are trading cards because they're so easy to ship. So I wouldn't know on that.
On that, and I've been on eBay since 1998, so I've been there a long time. Currently, though, we do the majority of our selling at pickerroad.com. But for international things, now we just shipped something from Picker Road to Ireland.
Yep.
And did we have any extra charge? It was pretty small.
No.
I probably wouldn't know as much as someone else who does eBay much broader than I do.
Currently. I love the Power Rangers profile picture too.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't get a ton of international. I've done a couple international on eBay, but I weigh all my, I try to estimate my weight and packaging. So, but I do know that they can be charged like tariffs or any taxes depending on their country. But that's not something that a seller is responsible for. That's the buyer's responsibility. I don't know.
I haven't shipped anything overseas since last year, September, so nothing for me.
Yeah.
I think it does matter because like if you do like under 1 pound, it's, I want to say like $20 to most countries. And when you go over it, it bumps up, except for pirate ships, standard international. But like I probably should pay more attention because I bet on eBay like what we're charged. Because I've been off where it's like 3 pounds and I had it at 2 and I just pay the difference, but I'm only paying the difference to eBay International Shipping Hub. So I'm wondering if I was charged for that extra pound from the hub to the customer. Because I know if you buy just international labels straight, you're going to pay a different price depending on the weight. So I would assume it does matter, but I'm wondering if you're the one that's going to get hit, or I don't know if the buyer would get hit. If anybody knows, let us know. I feel like it does matter, but I don't know if you're going to be the one, if you put the wrong weight, that they would, come and invoice you for it. And I don't follow like my line by line eBay enough I should probably do that because we ship quite a bit through eBay's international shipping program. I know it was brought up a couple years ago. I didn't even know eBay charges you a fee for every international sale because I guess they're putting it on like their country's eBay. So you have to pay an extra fee when you sell internationally. It's not high, but yeah. So I think bottom line is it matters. I just don't know if it's your buyer that's going to get hit or you that's going to get hit with that fee. Oh, I need to click something. What do I need to click? Nope. Hold on. Oh, Sonny, last time I made it better, but I don't remember how.
I don't think I make it better by going big.
Like wall dancing.
Obviously, I don't make it better. I thought it was this. Nope. Because we're hiding Tina. I figured it out last week. I don't remember how, though.
But that whole deal with the international is exactly why I only offer trading cards when I do international, because I know it's the same envelope size. It's always going to be 2 ounces, and then I don't have to worry about all those variables.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I get a lot, quite a bit of international. And I mean, it's nice because eBay handles everything. Etsy handles everything international too. Hold on. Let's look. Gemini is so smart. What is the charge for eBay international sales to US sellers? Hold on. We will answer you. We meaning Gemini, not me. It says eBay waives the 1.65% international fee if you sell through the global shipping program. So they waive the fee, but if you're not selling through the global shipping program, they charge 1.65%. So like if Will sold his cards on eBay international and shipped himself, then he would pay 1.65. But it says you pay so if you ship okay. It's only if you ship internationally yourself, they're going to charge you 1.65% because they're probably making money off of that international buyer. So they're not charging us a fee if we're using their program. So if somebody chooses to make it cheaper for the buyer and not use the global shipping program, then they have to pay an additional percent. So that's good to know. So actually there are no extra fees if you're using global shipping.
Wow, there you go.
I remember what a game changer it was when they started doing their, the shipping hub. Because I had one buyer for a while in Australia who was really liking the pop culture stuff I was offering, and he was paying exorbitant fees just because he couldn't get the stuff where he was. And then they started that program, and it brought it down considerably.
Exorbitant fees from eBay.
Yeah, exactly. All I could do was weigh the item and give him the best possible dimensions, but it's still, I think I sold him a Marvel encyclopedia. He paid more for the shipping than he paid for the book.
Oh, that's the shipping.
Oh, hold on. I got more information from Gemini. Discrepancies in your domestic shipping from you to the hub, you, the seller, are responsible for the excess. From the hub to the buyer, if your listing specs were wrong, eBay typically uses category averages to charge the buyer. If the item is significantly larger than expected, when it reaches the hub, eBay generally absorbs the cost. So there are no surprise charges to the buyer. So eBay. So the answer to that is apparently it does not matter unless it's a ginormous difference.
Wow.
That's interesting. Now we know. Yeah, that I didn't. We're learning. Thank you, Gemini. All right. Miss Linda says, what is the most weird or stupidest question a buyer has ever asked you or a reason given for a return?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I've got one.
Are we up? Well, first of all, and I mean this sincerely, we have the most incredible buyers on the planet at pickero.com. We've gotten to be such close friends with everybody, and it's honestly, it's like there really are no stupid questions. A reason for return. We also have very few returns.
I was going to go way back to eBay days, long ago. But
eBay,
no, I would never say anything about our current buyers. They're all wonderful. But long ago, I sold a copy of the movie Midnight Cowboy in 16 millimeter film.
Ah, yes.
I bought it at an estate sale in Santa Barbara. It was in mint condition. The entire film, absolutely wonderful. The color was pristine on it, which is what you look for in vintage film, whether it's turned red or not. In the original tins. So the purchaser bought it. I shipped it. They spliced the first 30 minutes of the film off of it and then demanded a return and sent me a chopped up film back.
Ooh. And eBay
sided with him.
Backed them up.
Yep. So that's probably my
that's
my cringiest, weirdest one ever.
Cringiest is right. Yeah.
And by the way, if anybody is interested in the last 90 minutes of Midnight Cowboy, I still have it right over there.
Slightly edited.
I don't know that I have an answer for this. Gosh, I'm trying to think and rack my brain. Like, I guess knock on wood, I'm very lucky that normally if there's an issue, like it's like something arrived damaged, like shipping, right? You know, like there was an issue that the box got crushed, and even that happens like maybe once a year. Like, I don't know that sorry, I'm gonna have to pass on that because I'm trying to think and I can't think of anything. Yeah.
The recent one was on eBay, and it wasn't weird, but it was dumbfounded in my opinion, because the dimensions of these Limoges plates, brand new set of 6, still an original box, just opened it to take photos and check the condition. It just had foam in between, right? Person buys it for $400, just like the first set of 6 sold. And then once they got it, it wasn't even 30 seconds when it showed delivered. And they said they wanted to return it because they didn't know the dimensions were that small. It was on the title, in the item specifics, in the dimensions. It's like, okay, but it's still sold. It sold for $60 more. Yeah, I just don't get it, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know that like one big one really sticks out to me. I think the most annoying ones are the ones that ask for measurements when they're in the pictures and in the description. And it depends on my mood. Most of the time I'll just tell them, even though it's in there. And sometimes I'll say, see pictures 6 and 7 or whatever. I just had one though. I don't know if Marsha remembers. I got a golf ball holder from Marsha's, the thrift store Marsha volunteers at. I got a golf ball holder. It sells for $100. And somebody messaged me, if I'm cross-posting, it's the same pictures everywhere. They said, I have to ask, do you have this on Etsy too? Because on Etsy, I see scratches, and I really don't want scratches, and that one's cheaper because I'm running a sale on Etsy right now. So my Etsy prices are actually cheaper than eBay right now. And I said, well, that's my listing on Etsy and my listing on eBay, and the pictures are exactly the same, and so are the scratches. I just got that like 2 days ago. But I'm like, how do you look through all the pictures on Etsy and see the scratches, but you don't look through all the pictures on eBay and see like... So, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is the stuff that is right in front of them and people don't look. And I put it in my video for Friday, but I sold a pair of Coro Snake Eye cufflinks that normally sell for like $150. I sold them for $80 because one of the eye gemstones was missing. I put reed. I showed the eye missing. And they got it and they're like, I don't know what happened, but one of these eyes is missing. This was an Etsy sale I just got. And so I used my good friend Gemini up there to respond to them because my mouth is not good for responding to that stuff. And I said, I'm sorry. I didn't say I'm sorry. I would still, if they push for a return, I would take it. But I said, please see the title and the word read in capital letters, as well as the photos and the description notating that one of the eye rhinestones is missing. And they didn't message me back so far. So we'll see. But if they said, I didn't read it, I want to return, I would give it to them. Luckily on Etsy, I do buyer paid returns. I don't do free like I do on eBay. But yeah, so like you can do everything in the world, like pictures, description, title, and people still, it was in the front picture. Like, I don't know what I don't. All right. Carly says, eBay algorithm wants us to list daily, but I'm running out of room. Does anyone else have this conundrum?
I have absolutely noticed that whenever I get to it and I really get on listing, I get much better sales and everything.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I mean, running out of room, though, I'm not quite sure what that. I never run out of room because I don't have that many on there.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting that everything is so algorithm based now, and
everything.
Yeah, if you want to really do it, then you have to keep feeding it.
Feed the beast every day, every other. What do you think is a good thing? Every day, every other day?
I don't know. I personally can't maintain that kind of a timeline, so I haven't been able to test it that thoroughly. I would love to, do the experiment and see what, again, like I said, primarily I'm running most of my items through pickerroad.com, but on eBay I'll sell trading cards. So, if I can list, I'd like to experiment sometime, maybe try and list 20 a day for a certain period of time and see if that makes a difference.
We have heard enough from constant eBay sellers who really do a lot of listing, that listing constantly gives them the best chance of sales and high volume.
And I've heard, and I don't know if anybody else has heard this too, but specifically with the algorithm, if you cross the 1,000 active listings mark, then the algorithm pushes you up even higher.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, Carly, I'm going to guess, though, that you're also talking about physical space in your house as a way. And so what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to listen because my husband's probably going to be laughing upstairs at this. I love me some good bins, some good wire, like cheap dollar store. When you go to the thrift store, I'm looking for wire shelves. I'm looking for metal shelves. I grew up in the 80s. I love Tetris. I'm always trying to fit it in. There's still a square inch in the bin. You can shove something in it. Yeah, that's just how it goes in this house.
Yeah, space. Not having space has been my nemesis, but it's been a work in progress for me lately. And my thing is, I think like many, after a while of gaining experience, compared to the beginning where you find a good deal, you buy it, you're going to get to it later, right? Because we're able to keep up with listings at first. And then after a while, you buy a bulk of items because the deal is just too good to pass up on, and you're going to get a good profit on it. And then after a while, you get more experience and you learn a lot more and you keep running into more of these good deals to where space starts kicking you in the butt. And that's what has happened to me. This month is 9 years of me reselling, being a content creator. And the previous years has gotten up to me. Things that I haven't listed yet. Thankfully, at the end of the month, I'm going to have a new booth to open up to, and that's going to help clear out the space that I brought from my last vintage booth. So I feel like now I just want my home to be my home and not my workplace, other than my office, and that's it. That'll be my new limit and my go and standard.
Yeah, she said running out of room in her house. I would say pay attention to the sell-through rate, number one, because I made that mistake in the beginning. And I have stuff that's been here for 4 years. And some of it's $5 stuff. Like, it's not even like it's valuable. So it's sitting, and worth the wait. I have over 5,000 square feet between my sheds, and I use my second house. So I have a lot, but like, I don't have room for furniture. Just like, I don't. So I can't buy, I used to do a lot of Ethan Allen furniture. I don't have room for it. But I would say start buying smaller. Like I'm mainly concentrating on jewelry right now. A lot of that is for that reason, because I don't have room for a lot of big things right now. So I would start looking smaller, start looking at jewelry, like trinket boxes, little like trinkets and stuff like that. I also, depending on how long you've had the stuff, would think about clearing some of it out, which I always, over the years, have said, no, I list it and forget it. I'm letting it stay because I have the space. However, now I am taking a different outlook on that because we're getting ready to inventory it all. And as we're looking through this stuff, I'm looking at this $10 thing that I thought would sell 4 years ago that's taking up space that I could put a $50 or $100 item in, and I'm letting it go. The majority of it, I'm just giving away. I've long made my money back because when I first started building, I was doing a lot of dollar box lots. So I paid $1 for like 15, 20, 30 items 5 years ago. You don't find many lots that don't go above that $1, but back then I did. And so like, I'm actually, speaking of Tetris, that's what I was doing earlier. We have 4 shelves, like the industrial shelves, full of inventory waiting to be listed right now. That is not counting our jewelry, which is probably over 50 pounds of $50 and higher jewelry. So I am going through it again. I went through it once. I'm going through it again with this new outlook of I don't want lower value stuff in my eBay store. and I'm pulling stuff to put on the Whatnot, whether it's, you know, $15, $20, $30 stuff that's just gonna sit, and I'm pulling it. So the salt and pepper shakers, and I talked a little bit about this on my video tomorrow. I bought the salt and pepper shakers specifically for Whatnot. That is exactly what I had in mind. I bought 1,500 pairs. I bought 500 first, and those 500 did very, very well. So when the rest of that collection, it was all one person's collection. When the rest of that collection came up for auction 2 months later, I bought every single lot. I did the first auction. I got outbid on a few because I was like, you know, I didn't know how they would do. They did amazing on Whatnot. So the next auction, I did not lose a lot. I bought 1,000 more, and we have, I think, about 30 pairs left is all we have left now. So no more salt and pepper shows for now. We got rid of all of them, and yeah, so I would think about getting rid of some stuff if you've had some that is lower value, and I would buy small. Yeah. And I get my jewelry all online and shipped to me. So you can get that very easily no matter where you are. But yeah, that's what I would do. I'm doing it anyways. I have space for, you know, some bigger stuff, but not furniture. I bought an Ethan Allen that I picked up yesterday. But I'm going to put it in my spare room. I don't know if I'm going to list it or not. But yeah, it's hard because, like Sonny was saying, like at the beginning, you're buying all this stuff that you think is good. My problem at the beginning was I thought I had to get every dollar out of every lot, and I would list every single item, even if it wasn't worth listing. And I think learning that you don't have to list every item in a lot. If you win a lot, you can redonate it. I have somebody I give it away to, you know, whatever you do. Yeah. Like, if there's stuff you haven't listed that you don't, let it go. Like that's what I'm doing with these shelves. I'm going through them a second time and pulling out more stuff. And yeah, I would rather have more quality than quantity now at this point. Like everybody used to be trying to get to like X amount of listings. And I'm like, no, I want to get down. Like my goal is to be down to 5,000 listings by the end of the year. I'm at 8,300. I've gotten rid of about 200, 250 so far. So, and that was all license plates. We did license plate shows on Whatnot, which actually did well. So now I'm buying license plates on auction so we do more license plate shows. But I'm buying them only for that. They're not going to go on eBay. They're only going to go on Whatnot, you know, because I know they did well. So yeah. Nice. All right. Patty says the post office never scanned a package and they said it was lost. She refunded the customer, and then the post office called 10 days later and said it was delivered. So have you had this happen? And if you have, how do you deal with this?
The Crow.
The Crow. We're picking in Santa Barbara at a great antique store, and there was this paper mache vintage folk art crow. He was about 10 by 10.
The lid of a box.
But he was wonderful.
Yeah.
But his tag said, "Please buy this crow. He's had a hard life." So naturally, Harlene's going to buy the crow. We pat him up on one of our sales, and of course, he sold right away.
He was very
fabulous.
Cool. Very cool.
Shipped him right out, and he was lost. His hard life was continuing. We did everything to track him. We went to the post office even when online and phone calls didn't work, and he was lost. We were just about to, I can't remember, did we refund the money or did we, one of our fabulous buyers.
We refunded the money and we put in an insurance claim for it.
That's it.
And after
a month,
at least a month, he showed up.
He showed up out of nowhere. Yeah. Out of nowhere. So we've been really lucky. We've had very few of those instances. But yes, to answer the question, we do refund our customer immediately. And if there is any loss or damage or anything, we take that on then to deal with the post office and what they have done. Our clients, in our minds, get premier class service. That's what we're all about.
We have
10 days.
we have very few instances of anything that requires us to ever put in insurance claims.
Yeah.
But what I will say that I've noticed of late too is that the post office has gotten very hard nosed on their insurance claims when it comes to the evidence. We always would put in a picture of if a piece was damaged or delivered damaged or anything. Now they want to see the box as well, and that's been interesting because most of the time the box is thrown away right away.
The client throws the box out.
So that's been an interesting thing. Again, like I'm saying, in 3 years of doing this, I think we've put in 5 insurance claims. We've knocking on all the wood around me, but yeah, the last 3 of them they actually did not put through because we did not provide pictures of the box, which we don't have,
even though the item was clearly broken in transit by the post office. So that's a little disappointing there because we always insure everything.
Yeah.
So, but our biggest funny story is the crow.
Yeah.
And our wonderful client sent us a picture. He ended up on a beautiful bookshelf next to books, and he's living his best life. So he made it.
Nice. I can't say, well, I've had a few things lost. Look, I'm very fortunate. We have a tiny post office. I know my postmaster on a first name basis, and I have her cell phone. So I am extremely fortunate that she is always super helpful. And the few issues that I have had, has always worked with me to help figure it out, and find a resolution. So I would say if you did refund the customer, I'd still maybe try to put an insurance claim in. I agree. Like I've also had a few of those issues and have put in insurance claim. Again, been very fortunate to have my money back to me. So in the few times that I've had to do, but that's like maybe a once a year deal for me too.
Well, her problem is though she refunded them and now they have the item.
Right.
So there's no claim to file anymore. The claim's closed because it got delivered, but she already refunded them.
So then maybe the real question, Kat, should be maybe she needs to call eBay because technically would they reverse the
we looked this up, I think I don't know if it was last week or the week before. Supposedly eBay has a protection where they will give the seller back their money if an item shows delivered after an item not received claim. So in this situation, if you didn't make your customer open an item not received claim, eBay wouldn't back you. But from what I researched last week or the week before, if they open an item not received claim, eBay will give you your money back if it shows delivered after a closed not delivered. But the big thing is if they say they haven't got it, you need to tell them they need to open an item not received claim.
Yeah, and can I say real quick, I had an issue with an international customer that it was a $15 Barbie, for heaven's sakes. I got hung up in customs for 3.5 weeks because of course that's what happened. And it was a whole thing, but I called eBay because they opened a claim against me and I'm like, I'm not the post office. I'm not going to fly this thing to Taiwan, right? But I want to say eBay actually was really nice. They were very helpful and very straightforward with me that even if someone opens a claim, as long as you are communicating with your buyer, they see that and they will take it into consideration. So I know things happen and people will complain and I understand that, but I do think it's important for sellers to also know a claim feels scary and frightening and I did something wrong. You didn't. And if you're communicating with your buyer and they see all of that, always message in the platform, for heaven's sakes, don't do anything privately, but it's all there and they'll see that. And I do think 9 times out of 10, they're going to work with you and try to make it right by everybody. At least I hope. I'm not just being an optimist, and that's the truth.
Yeah, I'm optimistic, 100% optimistic.
Yeah.
I would think that as long as you get the information of who told you they received it, the post office,
right.
Get that information to eBay and let them know. And I'm crossing my fingers that they would help you out. But a lot of things on eBay I've experienced, especially from others who have said it in their own videos, the things that make sense sometimes doesn't work on your side. But as long as you try and advocate for yourself rather than being passive and say, I'm just going to let it go, I don't think that would be the right thing, because then that happens to more people. Right. Other people will get over on us. And the more we fight for ourselves, you also fight for others.
it also requires you to be an ethical buyer as well as a seller. I feel like, because I buy things on eBay
They
for
just
myself
got that
too.
item for free. That's what I was gonna say.
I feel like if I was in that
Patty
position,
said-
I would give the money back, knowing that I was keeping the item. I'd want to make sure that the seller had the money.
The seller
that
was
is
made
not
whole.
always the case, unfortunately.
Right.
Patty said they did not open a claim, so unfortunately eBay's not gonna protect her. I just remember going forward, always make them. I know you think it's like dinging your account. It's not. If you have the proof you shipped it on time, it's lost in the postal system. You want to do everything through eBay. So if you had them open that, then eBay would have given you your money back. But Ping said you do have to use an eBay label for that to be the case. So if you do pirate ship or go to the post office, they're not going to give you your money back. What I typically do is tell, like, once I provide a refund after an item not received, I tell my customer, look, if this comes to you, please return to sender, because I will not get paid for this item. I tell them, do not open it, return it to me. And if they are ethical, they should return that box to you, and they won't have to pay if they just put return to sender and don't open it. They're not going to have to pay. I had one, I want to say about 2 months ago, that they kept it, and they, of course, don't want to answer. Luckily, it wasn't a high dollar item. And I don't follow my line by line on eBay, so I don't know if eBay refunded me. I didn't ask them to. I think it was like a $20 item. But yeah, I will typically, when I tell them, it was on Etsy. So buyer said she would pay, but have yet to see the money. It was on Etsy. I wonder if Etsy has that same. Oh, but there was no claim. Does Etsy have item not received claims? I don't know if they do.
We don't do Etsy.
I don't do Etsy.
Yeah,
I don't know if they do. So there's no way for her to just send you money. So you could, like, what I would do if it were me, I don't know how much the item is I'd be like, hey, here's my PayPal email. You cannot type it out on any of them. They will block you out. I'll put the nurse flipper and I'll write at Yahoo. So they know, like, what my email is. Or for me, it's easy because I'm like, my name's the same on all social media. You can find me somewhere to message me, I promise you. And people do, and they message me. We just had a Mercari mix up. My employee accidentally crossed 2 labels, both about $60. And I'm very lucky. The customers were nice. And I will tell you guys, if you mix up on Mercari, there really is no fix. But I had really good customers. And the one wrote me, she said, I ordered 3 pictures. She ordered framed Native American pieces. She said, I just received this gorgeous quilt, but it's not mine. And I said, oh my gosh. And that was my only other sale on Mercari, was the gorgeous quilt. And I said, okay. I said, let me message the other one. She said, I can send it to her, but Mercari doesn't allow you to send photos. Like, eBay's nice because I can buy a pirate ship label and message the buyer a picture of the pirate ship label, and then they have it on eBay if orders get switched like that. You cannot on Mercari. So I told her the nurse flipper at Yahoo. She emailed me. The second one laughed and said, I work at the post office. This is so funny. And she sent me her email, and Mercari removed the message, but her email came up in my notifications. So I wrote it down. So then I have both their emails, and I emailed them both pirate ship labels, and both of them let the rating go through and let me get paid. And they mailed the items to each other. So I was very lucky that both customers were very understanding and helped me. I had that happen before. It was a man in California, and he refused to give back a $500 ring. He said he could not be bothered to go to the post office. He was shipped the wrong item. And the buyer that got his item sent it to him and was very nice. And I ended up having to refund them. I even called the postal service for him, and he refused, and he kept it. And I'm like, so yeah.
I have one word for that. Yeah, there's one word for that. It's called karma. I'm done.
That's it.
Yeah. It was, I was very lucky with those 2. Yes, Elena, the quilt I found that sold the next day on Mercari got switched with 3 framed Native American photos. And I told her, I'm like, please don't open it. It's framed pictures. They're packed very well. Please just put the label on it and mail it to her. And she did. So both of them have mailed it to each other. But like I said, both of them didn't, because on Mercari, you have to rate within 3 days. Both of them let it go. So I got my money. The one opened a return because she didn't know, but it's going to end up closing. So I was very lucky with those customers. I wanted to put this up. I don't remember if I said it last week. So if you guys don't know, we got in the teens here a week and a half ago. We were down to like 17, 18 degrees, and Florida is not built, even in North Florida where I'm at, for 17 and 18 degrees. And I had a little tube that froze and started spraying, and we thought it was the impeller on my well. And we had no water for 4 days. Luckily, I have the extra house, which is where my inventory is. So we ran a hose to our house so we could at least flush toilets. And we went to the spare house to take showers. It was not convenient, but it worked. And I called the well guy, and he said, look and tell me what it says. And I said, oh, I see your sticker on it. He said, oh, you're a customer of mine. I'm going to tell you how to fix it. I said, okay. He said, are you handy? I said, I can figure stuff out. And there was a bolt on the side of the pump. It's an older pump, and we had put a hose to backfill it and prime it. That we thought of that, but you had to put water in this little hole after you took a bolt out. And then it started working, and he told me, and I fixed it by myself. I was very proud, and I saved hundreds of dollars because he's like, oh, my sticker's on your well. I'll tell you how. I don't have to come out. Which is cool, like great customer service from him too, because he knew he couldn't come out for 4 days, and he knew how to tell me how to fix it. So I fixed it myself, which was
good for you. Yay.
Yeah. I was proud. I was like, it's going. I messaged everybody. I messaged Ellen, messaged. I'm like, ah. All right. Oda Lally with her fun question. If you had to dress up as a reseller themed superhero, who would be your sidekick, and what would be your catchphrase?
This is our sidekick. This is Rhodey. Rhodey is a mascot.
Rhodey's a hedgehog that we found in Goodwill a couple of years ago, and she got startled by this at first. So I put it like behind my back, and I kept putting it like behind things on the shelves for her to find. And by the end of the episode, Rhodey was coming home with us, and has kind of been our mascot ever since. So this kind of has to be the sidekick. And I don't know, our catchphrase is join the journey. It's on everything we do.
So we would be.
It is.
We would be the. What would we be? Captain Journey?
I don't know. But yeah, Captain Pickers.
Captain Pickers. Yeah. We kind of have ourselves so branded half the time anyway. It's like we're wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Wow. This is a question. So I'm gonna say my sidekick would be Kitschy the kitty cat, because I love cats and I love Kitsch there. If you know, Jason and I, we're huge Kitsch collectors. Also holiday and Christmas, but Kitschy ceramics, Japan ceramics, I'm there for all of it. So yeah, that was the first. What would be my catchphrase? Oh gosh. I don't know. Finding the deals and saving the vintage. There.
I don't know what my catchphrase would be, and I wish I had it. I've been moving my office around a lot lately, and it's I forget the character's name, but it's from the Smurfs, and everybody remembers the Smurfs, just the Smurfs, right? And then you got Gargamel, and then you got all these other ones, the evil guys. But there's actually a good guy who has long hair down to like his shoulders, and I have 2 of those plushes, and he wears a cape. And I just had him yesterday. I'm like, that's perfect. Now I can't find him. He disappeared. He would be my sidekick because he would be like my mini me. 2 heads is better than 1, even if 1's smaller. My catchphrase would probably be like, "Are you hungry?" It would have nothing to do with thrifting, but it's like, "Are you hungry?" Just throws people off.
This is funny because I would have said Sir Andrew, which was my Charlie McCarthy dummy that I saw Harry in the chat earlier. Harry Humstone gave him to me. Well, the lady who cleans for me, her little boy came in the shed and fell in love with that dummy. And I've had that dummy for over 5 years. Harry used to have him on his 2-drink minimum live, and I would bug him every show saying, send me that dummy. And he got a second one, and I'm like, now you have to send me that dummy. And he sent it to me, and they're not exactly cheap either. I will say that. And I'm like, Harry, I have this kid here who is in love with this dummy. I'm like, do you care if I give him away? And I was the only one that liked Sir Andrew in this house. Everybody else thought he was creepy and would face him towards the wall when I wasn't looking. Aww. And so now Sir Andrew has moved out. This is funny. I'm going to stand up because I was going to say Dalton, and I haven't worn this in forever, but it says it will fit, which would be my catchphrase, and it's me and Dalton on my shirt. And I haven't worn this forever, so it's kind of funny that I'm wearing it now. But yeah, so mine would be Dalton. He actually, during Christmas break, made a thrift store in our fireplace room. He put all his items out. He priced each of his items. He had an open and close sign. And he was out here. They were out of school yesterday. He was out here helping Prissy, my employee, and gluing things together and just, yeah. So definitely would be Dalton. And it will fit. Anybody who knows me is amazed at what I can make fit in my car. The whole Tetris thing, and actually, me and my boyfriend, that was our first date. He lived where I had to pick up an auction haul. I said, I tell you what, we can meet. We can go pick up my auction haul, and you can help me load it. How about that? That was the first time we ever met, and and he's like, this is not going to fit. And I'm like, it's going to fit. Okay. And so he went today and yesterday, 2 hours. Today was 2 hours away. Yesterday was 2.5 that I sent him to pick up auction. Now he has I send him and I stay here, pick up my auction hauls. But yeah, so the it will fit is definitely me. Todd sent a $2 super chat and said I'm the well whisperer. I wish I would have been the well whisperer 4 days prior before we had to traipse across the lawn in 20 shower. It was not very pleasant. Who am I going to give you? Oh, Mark's not coming tonight. I'll give you Rod. Here's Rod.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time.
I love the.
We'll do Sonny for the next.
Oh.
You love. Have you seen the Sonny one?
Oh no! I was going to say I love the car Tetris as well, because when we did our big cross country trip, we kept buying bins when we realized we'd need a new bin, and we calculated that we could get 9 bins into the car that we had rented, and then when those 9 bins filled up, we then got a U-Haul to pull to the back of it and had another 9 bins.
Come say hi.
Hello. Hi, Dalton.
Hello. Mommy was just talking about you. Okay, give me a kiss. I love you. All right. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I got lucky. I was looking when we were at Goodwill in Vegas and Tiffany was with us. I was like, could you possibly, before I filled the cart, I'm like, could you possibly ship stuff back to me? And because when we flew Southwest and went to Phoenix, Southwest lets you have the 2 bags for free. So we just bought a giant suitcase at Goodwill and filled the giant suitcase. But we were on Spirit, who would have charged us like $150 a friggin' suitcase. And I was like, yeah, no. So, yeah.
And that's Goodwill Vegas for you. You find the best stuff here.
It's all clothes, which is like it is here with me, which I don't know if I talked about it last week. I think I did. I am not currently, and I don't know when or if I will do thrifting videos again, because all I find is clothes, 90%. And I don't particularly want the clothes that I'm finding. So I've started on my catch treasure hunting. Now I'm doing auction haul videos and showing like what I spent and where I got it and how I'm processing it. I'm not going to make you guys look through 200 pounds of jewelry, I promise, because that's like a 10-hour thing.
I would.
I think some people would, because I just put my GoPro on in the living room is what I did. I put out one so far. I put out one haul, but I have 3 more. I have one to edit and I have 3 more now auction hauls that are here. Them too. It makes me process them and go through them faster too. What is your home decor style, and do you list heavily in that category? This is a fun question. I don't think we've ever gotten this before.
Wow. Wow. Well, our home decor style now is kind of very modernist. Lots of whites and creams and grays, and very modernist. So yes, though, I am always looking for mid-century modern. Some of our items are mid-century, things that we got in Europe or on our travels. Heavy into art, nice art. And yours is
mine's a little more pop culture based. I've got multiple shelves with different things that I've themed it at. Like, people who watch our channel know that I collect antique and vintage steamship artifacts. So I've got one shelf that's specifically that, Titanic items, and then things from like the golden age of steamships, the Queen Mary, the SS United States. And then I've got a whole nother section that's all Golden Knights memorabilia because I'm a hockey nerd too. So, and then I've got a Star Trek section. So
we recently moved to Vegas. It's been a couple of years now, but we downsized from a 5-bedroom house. And in our home, we had theme rooms. We had our front room was beautifully done like an English country house. Then our family room was huge with giant TVs and couches and pool tables. So we had very different interests in so many different things. But then we downsized, and Gary and I decided to make it simple.
But for me to answer the question whether I list heavily in that category, I kind of try and set myself certain boundaries. So if I hit the peak spot of a collection, then yes, I will list certain things to remove it from that collection to make space for something else. But most of the time, if it's something that I personally collect, I'm not going to be listing it because I want that piece.
Right. But what I was saying about our house being so different is that I don't have to actually have that decor to be really interested in it. Like my first love, of course, is art in all forms and jewelry. But I'm interested in everything, and I love learning about different collections. And so really, we do a broad range of buying. Love antiques. I've said so many times that I grew up on the East Coast and cut my teeth going up through New England and the old barns and antique stores and so forth. Learning about, colonial antiques and so forth. So there's so many different things. So our house is very simple, but my interests are very, very varied.
So I would say our house style is straight up vintage. 90% of my house is from the 50s into the early 60s. Literally maybe like just obviously our television and like big pieces of furniture, but like my dining room set is 1960s. If you follow us and you watch any of our YouTube channel, we've put up like holiday decor, and you can see a lot of what we do. So I definitely, Jason and I got into this due to being collectors. So we have a very extensive collecting habit. Is that a good word? So our house is full of 1950s kitsch. We're big Holt Howard collectors, vintage Christmas. I have a vintage mermaid and fish collection. So therefore I have to have a vintage mermaid bathroom because everybody needs a mermaid bathroom. I have a mermaid and fish office too, which makes work a little more enjoyable, quite frankly. So our house is very colorful and full. It's like we have like we do displays. We do have like, you know, vintage cupboards and like, you know, everything. We try to display a lot so we can love it and enjoy it. And then we fit the holiday stuff in on top of that, which is always fun. And yes, we love selling. I mean, okay, if I'm going to be honest with you, I like selling like things that I don't want to keep, because I agree, you want to keep the stuff you love, right? But yeah, we do really sell majority of what we also collect in one way or another. Am I selling a ton of Holt Howard? Yeah, if I could find it, I would, because I'd keep one and I'd share one with all my friends. But, you know, but yeah, we definitely specialize in 50s, 60s vintage. Probably trying to push myself into other arenas to sell, and I'll sell just about anything if I think somebody will love it and want it. But yeah, so I'd say we're true vintage. I have fiberglass lamps and lampshades. Our house is straight out of the mid 50s, early 60s, nice. And I love it that way.
That would be two things: vintage Zootopia. I love animal figurines, porcelain, wood, stonework, zoomies. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's something that is like, oh, I love this, I gotta have it. I go for it. And I have quite a bit of animals. My last booth started out with like 2 cats. 2 people fought for them. Next thing you know, is like, I'm going to bring more cats. And I ended up with house hippos, learning about that and other things. And I just started falling in love with these animals. And they do very well. Even cat lovers, dog lovers, things like that. Giraffe collectors. And I've come across 2 collectors of giraffes here in Las Vegas. And they have showed me pictures. And that's just a portion of what they have. Thousands of giraffes. I would have never thought somebody would collect that much giraffes. But it's pretty unique when you find something that they don't have with the amount that they have. So the other thing besides animals and figurines would be lamps. If you've been following me for the last like 2 years online, you would see that I come across some amazing lamps in amazing condition for stupid low deals. So much that people are starting to say I'm rigging my videos and that I'm Goodwill employee and all these things because they can't believe it. And I just love everything. That's the problem. It's not just animal figurines. It's not just lamps. If it just catches my attention and is valuable enough, even $5 or so, although I want higher end stuff, I like what I like. And I know if I'm attracted to it that much, somebody else even more has a story that they're trying to fill in that gap that they lost. And a lot of the items that I come across are for that reason. Is my grandma had it, or they had it and it broke or it lost, and they just want that back, even though it's not the one that they had. You know, that's just something they want to fulfill. And I think that's the magic part of everything. You just don't know what matters to somebody, even if it's just $1. To them, it's worth $1 trillion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, and I always said this, and I said, I don't collect. And I always say I don't have a booth because I cannot like decorate and like stage, and that's just not me. But I love Raku pottery. So like I have the little, mostly Jeremy Diller pieces. I do have a couple more I just got from some other artists that are Raku. And so I have on my nightstand, and then I have like Tiffany style stained glass dragonfly lamp Jocelyn picked up for me up in Pennsylvania. And so that's like my little, like all my Raku is on my nightstand. Like my collection is on a little nightstand because it's all miniatures minus 1 8-inch vase that has gotten broken 3 times and somehow is still together. And that's the second one because the cat likes to jump out of the window onto my nightstand and then the vase goes over. So I bought a little vase and I'm like, I'll put it on top of my vanity, and she broke it within 30 minutes. But I have 2 more, and they're in the corner of the kitchen counter right now because I'm scared to put them anywhere else. Because the cat, she's very nosy, and she knows anything new that comes in, and she wants to inspect it. She's still a kitten. So she's listen, this cat is something else. We got her to be a friend or like companion to our blind cat because he got lonely when nobody was home, and she is rotten. Like, that's saying it minimally. She is rotten, but I have turned my ex-husband kind of used the fireplace room as his office, which he is now gone. And I love Native American. Anybody that knows me knows I love Native American. So my fireplace room only is now decorated in Native American. And my house was built in 1942. So the whole wall is stone and it's a 4-foot fireplace. And then now I'm putting like my sand paintings. So when I get auction lots, sand paintings aren't worth a ton. So like if they're not something spectacular, I put them up in there to add to that. I have a couple of like amazing pieces that are listed because they're worth like $500 each. So, but I put them up in there. My bathroom's the same way. So my bathroom's all beach. That's my other thing. You can tell by my tattoo. So my whole bathroom I have mermaids in my bathroom, but it's mostly sea turtles. And to answer your question, I'm going to turn it. I've done this several times. It's been in a few of my videos and show you my desk. That's my Kachina collection.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It's not mine though. They're all listed, but I actually have double that on my display shelf now. I had to stop buying them because what I used to do is when that shelf got sparse, I would go find more Kachinas on auction. Well, then I found too many, and now it's taking up half my big display shelf too. So I have like quadruple what you just saw of Kachinas. So those don't ever get put in boxes here. They are all displayed where we can see them until they sell. And yeah, so yes. And same with the beach stuff. Like the beach stuff I see, and I'm good at selling it because I can keyword it well. Like with nautical beach, like whether it is named or not. So and the rest of my house is not really anything because I really do suck at staging and decorating. It's not my thing. Like, I don't even have pictures hanging. I bought all these frames at thrift stores. I'm like, I'm going to put up pictures of our family.
I'm curious, Kat, how long have you collected Jeremy Diller? Because he only came into our space recently, and we found 3 pieces in the last month of his.
And they sell right away.
I feel like he's the most produced, or like, he's like the artist that you see the most with Raku.
Yeah.
I have been probably 4 or 5 years, not a long time.
Okay.
I just love Raku. I love Raku.
Beautiful.
Oh, I have horsehair. It does it really much. Jeremy Diller. He has a brother that does it too. He has a brother that does it.
Yeah.
Is it Ben? What's his name? Is his name Benjamin? Wait.
It might be Ben. What here? Gemini knows everything.
Literally just had it too. Yeah, we just had this one. It sold just a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah, the wedding vase. That one with the he's really. I don't have any out here because they're all on my nightstand. I have my little mini Acoma potteries up here too. So like my fetish animals are also up there on the shelf too. So I have like my own little Native American display. Benjamin, you were right. It's Benjamin Diller, and they both are renowned artisans for Raku. But at Raku in Southwest, let's ask when did they start? Let's see if it'll tell us. It'll tell us. It knows everything. The late 90s, early 2000s.
Wow.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh, that's who I have.
I heard you weren't coming. He's here. Barbara said you weren't coming. Now you made her a fibber.
Thank you for helping me figure out what I have. 2 turtles just a few months ago.
Are they Jeremy Diller?
Jeremy. I was like, Jay Dillon. What's Jay Dillon? I can't figure out the last name. So it doesn't have the full name. It will have, ladies and gents, it'll have Jay and then the Dillon on my end.
You should show me because I'll buy it.
There you go.
It's not for sale
right away.
yet.
The first piece we ever found actually had one of his studio tags on it.
Yeah, that's how we knew.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of tags, and I got mine off of, and it's so funny because I looked and looked and looked. I had my Drew's alive. I had my Whatnot credits from my referrals, and I bought, like, I don't have time to watch live shows. I bought some things from Sonny, and I was like, can I use my credits on static listings? The answer to that is yes. So I put in Raku and I scrolled for hours to find pieces that I like. And it's so funny that like with this question, I didn't know, like, I didn't look at the sellers' names. I bought 3 pieces. I'll show you. I don't know if my Acoma, my Acoma ministers are signed. Your Acomas are mostly signed. Like that's a Acoma owl.
Mm-hmm.
I like little.
They're very cute. I love owls. So I bought 3 pieces, and the third one said free shipping, and I'm like, huh. Turns out it was the same seller.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, it's because they like the same style I like, and they had pieces that I liked. And I didn't even like, I looked through hundreds and picked 2 from the same seller, you know? And they're not, one's a Raku bowl with a shell on it. And the other one is like a vase that has nothing, it's not nautical at all. So they weren't like same theme. And they were both Raku, but they were both the same seller.
I found the turtles a week apart. And then about a month ago at the new Goodwill, I think I told Arlene when I ran to her and Gary at Goodwill, this Goodwill I like going to. If you're in Las Vegas, go to the one off of Ann and 95. It's on the corner. It's almost hidden because it's not like an easy spot when you're driving. You can't just turn right. You got to slow down. But anyways, there was a stack of what looked like coasters. And when I touched it, I was like, wow, this is some freaking heavy coasters. Yeah. And sure enough, they were Raku. They are not coasters. They're wall plaques. But they take them together. The little
hanging. I have a bunch of little like stones that are like pocket, like for good luck things.
They're like maybe 9
different words. They're all Jeremy Diller too. I just looked it up so you guys know and where you're at. So Jeremy Diller operates Raku Pottery Works based in Tecate, California, near the Mexican border.
Not far.
Benjamin Diller operates out of Hawaii. So which is there. I love their work, and I feel like they're the most known. I have an amazing Raku piece. I'll look it up because it's listed. It's in my house in my china cabinet. But I think it's like $500. So I listed it. If they're that much, I won't keep them. I will list them. Now I better knock on something that the cat don't figure out how to knock off this big bowl. Let's see. What is their name? Tony Evans. And this one's not, I should share my screen and just show you guys because this one's not traditional Raku. This one, let me pull Patty's question and then I can share. So look at this piece. This is Tony Evans, and that's not your traditional.
Froze cat.
Cat froze.
Somebody take a screenshot. I'll do it. And save to desktop. Yeah, you got to come in and out. I don't know what she was looking at. But this Jeremy Diller, these folks, these could be very valuable, and then they could be easily like $20 and up. So the 9 pieces that I found times 20 for $4, score. And the thing with Raku is very like looking at it, you almost know immediately. But then when you touch it, you could tell if it's too light, it's not really good quality. Could be wrong on some things, but most times like there's a big difference when you start touching it and look at it. But I could never figure out the name until when Will said it. I was like, wait, why does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So, mine's Jay Dillon. It's a special one.
And again, we would have thought the same name as you because the signature is very, it's free form.
Yeah.
But that first one that we ever found had the original tag with it, so we were able to identify that. And then once you get it in your brain, you've kind of got it there. So I like what the super chat in there said. Cha-Cha King, they said, our house is decorated like we dipped it in glue and dragged it through 20 miles of flea market.
I would love to visit Scott.
Did it ever show my screen? It kicked me out of StreamYard.
We didn't see it. No.
No, you froze and I took a screenshot.
Yeah.
Hooked up to my hotspot. So this is Tony Evans Raku, which is not like your traditional. And it's signed, and luckily it had the sticker because I don't know if I would have deciphered that. But this is a foot across. It's really, really neat. And I think I paid like $50 for this on half off day. And then I've got, this one is a Raku. I have this one listed at $1,000 because it's Raku and hand painted with a kachina. So I'm not letting go of that cheap. I should put that one inside. That one is not inside. This one, I don't know who the artist is, but like I love stuff like that. I'll price them high. And then I find a lot that aren't named either. Like these are signed. They're Don Williams. So that's another. And this is the one that I have. I kept one of his and have it on my bedside table. And he's from down here in Florida.
That is so cool.
But like the colors, for you guys that don't know, that black bottom is what is traditional of Raku because they fire it in the ground. And so it gets the black charred bottom. So that's how you can identify Raku pieces. What do you have, Sonny? Is that a hippo?
I'm sorry, I said cha-cha. I meant cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
I'm having fun with that.
Speaking of pottery, I do have one that I have not figured out yet. Y'all want to see it, folks? This is my favorite pottery find that I have not figured out.
Well, that's probably worth a lot of money.
When I was a young warthog.
It does have a signature right there.
That's not pretty.
So I got it. I couldn't walk away without getting it.
Where?
And people have said it's city clay pottery or something. And I don't see anything like it, but I may have to take photos and email them and say, hey, is this, some of your friends' work? If you could tell me more about it. Was that?
Where did you find it?
The flea market. Flea market.
He's cute. I got the Tony Evans. It was $100, and I'm like, I gotta research this guy, and looked him up, and I was like, that's Raku. Like I'm sitting here looking straight at it and had no idea until I researched the artist, and he only does Raku.
Wow.
That one's cool. That reminds me of the ugly face mugs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, very much.
All right, Scott. Look, Harlene already read Scott's super chat. Oh, now they get to see Sonny. You guys get to see Sonny for Scott.
Yay.
All right, here we go. Here's Sonny.
The flip.
Pretty good.
Maybe your superhero costume ought to say super flip.
That's the best kind of flips. It's hair flips.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's see. Lynn says, I'm confused about postage. Don't we have to have a tracking number on all shipments? If so, and I don't think she means us. She's asking, how are people selling for $3 with free shipping? I am definitely not.
We don't do that. So I have no idea how they are able to make a profit on anything because I don't think we ship anything for under. Well, your cards.
Well, yeah, no, I never do cards that low, and I'm sure there's some way that you can do that because I have purchased ones that are like that, and I'm not sure how they do it. I have a feeling that the ones that do that are doing that to keep, like we were talking about earlier, to keep the algorithm up by listing enough low ticket items that you're still getting 20 items up a day, even when you don't have the merchandise to support that. I mean, I don't buy a lot of low end cards, but I know there are ones that sell like 99-cent trading cards and just do that to keep the numbers flowing.
We don't have the hours in the day to do because we do everything. We do all our own shipping, everything. So, we and what we're very clear on pickerroad.com, when you make a purchase, if Shopify, the platform we sell through, has overestimated anything, we refund the buyer the difference. So we're very clear and upfront on that. So, but we generally don't do free shipping.
But I'm sure there's an option somewhere in there for you to just smack a stamp on an envelope if you're selling something like that.
Oh, okay. But then the card would get bent.
Well, it depends. That's what I'm saying. Like some
plastic sleeve.
Not just trading cards. Like for instance, I collect old steamship stuff. One of the things that I do is old postcards, and there are some great
like your ephemera and stuff too. Yeah,
exactly. There are some great postcard sellers on eBay, and they just ship in plain white envelopes.
But do they do free shipping?
Yeah, and it's usually a stamp.
Oh, well, maybe that's how they do it.
No.
Yeah, Lynn, I'm confused too. How's that for a good answer? I don't know. The only $3 and free shipping that I sell is in my store at Mother Tucker's, and then I just wrap it up and let people take it to their car. But yeah, I don't know, because I do think you need to upload a tracking number in order to get paid, right? Am I wrong?
Like I was trying to message them to see, but they're not in the chat right now. I'm looking at this. Maybe it's Whatnot or live auctions. And if that's the case, then it has to be starting at $3 and it has to be volume sales for it to make sense.
Correct.
And that may take a while.
eBay has eBay's envelope though. So eBay has a standard envelope that has shipping and it's 59 cents.
Okay.
And it comes with tracking. And it's only in the cards category. I think they moved it to postcards as well.
Okay.
But Sonny's right. It like for them to be making money,
right?
They are doing it in volume. I watched a thing where it was booksellers. They were making like 5 and 10 cents, but they're selling 1,000 and 2,000 a day. So I mean, when you multiply that, would I do it? No. And I will tell you too, some people, and people will get mad at me because I used to do a lot of ephemera. I did a lot of vintage, like pamphlets and things like that. And I do handkerchiefs. And they'll tell me that sellers will send it in an envelope like that. But you're correct. Do you have to have a tracking number? No. Is it going to count as on-time shipping? No. So you would never get top rated seller because you couldn't prove you were shipping it. When I drop ship, like if I can't find something and I buy it from another seller, I just mark it as shipped without tracking number. You can do that, but it does go against your metrics. So some people that I know, they have like their postcards are on a separate eBay account. So because they know they're not using tracking and they're not going to ever have like that, they're just not going to get it. They don't have it. But you can buy tracking for an envelope for 50 something cents at the post office. And then they'll just attach the tracking number. You can buy a tracking number for anything. It charges it, but Marsha's right. Like they're hoping buyers buy more than one, like that you're buying 5 $3 cards and they're putting it in 50 cents envelope, not 9 of them. Which is
I never go for those low level ones. Like yesterday I sold a William Shatner autograph card, so that goes in a box, not an envelope.
Yeah, anything I sell over $50, I don't care what it is. We bubble wrapped plush. Like I sold a $200 plush, I will bubble wrap it, and you can laugh at me all you want. But if it's over $50,
our wonderful buyers, the comments that they give, because she does all the packing, and
Gary
stuff,
and I.
Yeah, but the amount of care that she puts into the stuff, and they will say like, it took me 5 minutes to open the bubble wrap.
Well,
oh my gosh, my Raku. Listen, okay, we go through tons of bubble wrap. Okay, we overuse it. This lady had tissue paper, my 2 Raku pieces I got. Tissue paper, then brown paper, then little bubble wrap. And like, I couldn't get, I'm not going to lie. I was like, I was over it trying to get into that thing. And I was like, I thought we over packaged. Yeah, look, I show my video tomorrow. Look, I got Brad Blacksheep told us about the machine and I got it. Look, I made all this myself.
You made it?
Wow.
Oh the machine is amazing.
Wow.
It's only $150. And look, you can make these ones too. I got all the different bubbles. I'm making one.
Wow.
It's right here. I have it. $150, and the rolls are like $20 for over 1,000 feet.
Will and Harlene,
So I'm still buying my
Excuse me, I'm
regular
gonna go
bubble
order
wrap,
something.
but that's the best for like lining the box. Like if you
That's
line the
great.
she had saran wrap on it too. You're right. I was like, what does she have on this thing? But this is best for lining the box. I line the whole box in this. And like, listen, that machine is amazing. And we turn it on and you see my old laundry basket. We fill up the laundry basket and then we shut it off.
Wow.
I think you can have it make small bubble, but for me, we go through 1,000 square feet of bubble wrap in a day some days. It's just not, I don't think it'd be cost or time efficient. I'm going to find it. I'll find it because I got it on Amazon when Brad told us. I was
let me make an affiliate link real quick.
The show and went and bought that thing. I was like, I got to go get that thing. And
it's
fun.
One.
It's a little machine. Hold on. Let me take the roll off.
I go through bubble wrap like crazy when I have my everything auction sales because I have a lot of home
decor. This is the roll that makes those that fill that up. So it's bigger.
Wow.
And this is the roll that makes the little bubbles. But the machine, look, it's not that big. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
That's
And
it.
so there's a thing here that blows air. And then this heat seals it as it blows the air in. And it rolls through and just rolls out of the machine.
Wow.
It's
And
absolutely amazing.
How much is the plastic itself? Is it
they were like $20-something for 1,000 feet.
Wow. Because we spent a fortune on bubble wrap and we get it all, you know.
Same.
Yeah. I had
this, we went down on how much we're using of what we buy because we're using this to line the box and fill them versus using more bubble. Like of the, small bubble wrap. I'm sure I could get the small, but we just use so much. I don't think it would be cost efficient or time efficient. But for the lining of the boxes, like when we're packing, I just turned it on and let it go and turned it off. And I got to find it. I buy too much on Amazon. Let me read. I'm going to read the next question and then I'll find it because I buy too much. Okay. So I'm not going to put this question up here. But I started so I would mention it. As far as finding out value, I don't ever tell people the value of things. I like to teach them how to figure out the value of their own things because me telling you is not going to help you learn how to do it. Google Lens is your friend, for one. That is an amazing thing. And number two, since you know the name of the designer, she asked about a necklace. Worth Point is worth its weight in gold if you're finding rare one-off vintage pieces, especially jewelry. And you can get a 7-day, 7 lookup trial for free. I didn't look it up, but go and to find out what it's worth, you need to know what it's selling for now. So like eBay current listings, eBay sold listings are going to be my go-to because that's where I sell. So to me, that's the value that matters, but it might be worth more on, a high-end auction if it's a high-end piece. But yeah, so hopefully that helps. That's my thing. I do private coaching. I'm not pricing anything for you. I don't care how much you pay me. I teach people how to do it themselves because me telling you doesn't help you learn how to do it. All right. I put it in the chat. I wanted to put this up so everybody can hear it. Debbie's in Canada, and she was asking if I could share the online sites I source from. The main one is HiBid, which is in Canada. And I actually have bought quite a few pieces from Canada. There are some costume designers in Canada that sell very, very well. So I've paid the shipping from HiBid Canada auctions. There is HiBid in Australia. I have looked for somebody in Australia as well. So HiBid is worldwide, whether there are people there or not. I do member sourcing, and my California people, we cannot use HiBid because it's all industrial. So we have to use CTBid is another one, but I don't think they're in Canada. And then the other one that I use mostly is ProxyBid, and I don't think they're in Canada. So I think HiBid's going to be your main. And I know Canada's big, but hopefully Canada to Canada shipping isn't horrible. So you could, and I know every Canada auction I've seen provides shipping. And I just saw a ton because there were a ton of license plates, FYI, and Canada license plates sell very well. So you might want to look at that because I'm not going to pay to ship license plate from Canada. All right. Oh no, the Pokemon dentist got my first negative feedback in 20 years of eBay. But the buyer put perfect thank you. I messaged the buyer thinking it's a mistake. The buyer's not responding. Is there anything else I can do?
Wow.
I've seen this before, and that is a really hard thing, that unless the buyer goes to eBay and requests it on their end, yeah, I don't know if there's any. The only other thing I could say is that you could go to eBay and say that you think that the buyer mishandled their feedback ability. There's some things written in the eBay bylaws, like this was an unfortunate situation, but a long time ago, I had a buyer message me and say, if you don't give me a partial refund, I'm leaving you negative feedback. And that is buyer
extortion.
That's extortion.
Yeah.
And you just send that right to eBay and say they're using feedback extortion, and eBay blocked them from being able to leave feedback on the item.
I haven't been super active on eBay in recent times, getting pickerrow.com up and everything. But I do remember in the past, if there was a mistake on there, eBay would not do anything. Even if it was a mistake, it has to be within, like you said, their bylaws of extortion or something actually wrong with what the buyer is saying.
Right.
But if you're just saying you think the buyer made a mistake, eBay I believe they just say you just have to contact the buyer.
Yeah.
It's between you and the buyer, and they usually won't step in unless the buyer has done an egregious error, and like you said, and tried to blackmail you or whatever. So I don't know that there's too much you can do. I would just keep trying the buyer. Maybe they'll break down and respond in a nice way. Maybe just keep asking, because that's really sad.
Yeah, especially if it was just a mistake.
Right.
Too.
Well, if they're saying perfect thank you,
yeah,
it sounds like it was simply they just hit the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just keep trying.
I'm gonna say this sucks. Life isn't always fair. Don't get hung up on the little things. I know that sounds kind of horrible, but I think also running our antique store for 18 years, I have a love-hate relationship with Google reviews, because people will leave us bad reviews because I didn't have the item they were looking for. Okay, I'm not a grocery store, right? This is a love-hate relationship. So it's sort of one of those things. People go, oh, I came in, they didn't have this. All right. So I'm not saying that you should ignore your reviews, but what I'm saying is that maybe the buyer did make a mistake, reach out to them. But at the end of the day, I think majority of your customers are going to look through your feedback, see that the person maybe left a low score, but said perfect thank you. They're going to move on. Just like if somebody left a review for my store and said, well, they didn't have brand new, concert t-shirts. Well, no, that's not what I carry in my store. So I think most customers, again, 95% of people, or I'd hope maybe 99% of people, will try to keep this optimistic. We'll look at the reviews and go, oh, and just keep going. They're looking for the 10, 20 consistent reviews of this person was a slow shipper. This person, didn't pack well. This person the item was not as described. Those are the red flags they're looking for. I know that you work hard, and I know it's really hard to see that negative when you put so much work into something, but please don't let that teeny pebble make your whole shoe that uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
That pebble makes me uncomfortable.
Am I right that it's no longer permanent anymore too? That in 120 days, I think it'll cycle out and you go back to 100%?
No, a year. Did it change?
A year now?
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
That's what gets me.
But it's not permanent. I remember, in the early 2000s, it was, there forever.
Right. Well, and as you get more feedback, it gets pushed down, right? It gets pushed down so that it's not right there too.
Yeah.
So
But it is right there when you go from positive feedback,
I know.
negative feedback, and back to that pebble in the shoe. Everybody thinks for the first 2 minutes, I could take this pebble. I don't want to take off my shoe. I don't want to hold my breath trying to get over my belly. For most people, talking about myself, it bothers you. And after 20 years of having, like a really great platform for yourself, what you build, that pebble would feel like a boulder in my shoe. I would want to cut off my foot, to be extreme. And I'm pretty sure you messaged eBay and Marsha messaged that you could request a revision. That doesn't mean they're going to reply. I feel like it's
do not request a revision unless they're answering you, because it's only good 24 hours and you can only do it once.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a bad joke. Like, they're online. They left you a review.
I put a link in the chat. I wrote ta-da because I think eBay will remove it for you. I had that exact situation a couple months ago. The link that I put in is the request to remove negative feedback. Just put buyer's comment as positive. They accidentally marked it negative, and eBay removed it off of mine fast.
Really?
I think
that's cool.
They will remove it. Yeah, I think they'll remove it.
And also, at the end of the day, if you have a buyer who is thinking about buying something from you and they look at your feedback and they see it's 99.9%, and then they click the button to go, I want to know who that one negative one is. And then they go in there and they find that one negative and they see that it says perfect, thank you. They go, oh, it was a mistake. This should be 100%. If they are it's so important that they see that, then they're going to see that it was a mistake.
That's great to find out, Kat, that they removed that.
Yeah.
Because
they won't for like silly things, but if you put that, they actually read it. I have 99.9 somehow. I had 100 for like 2 months and it didn't last very long. It's hard. We sell hundreds of items a week. Like, you're gonna get people that are not gonna be happy. It just happens. Right. Except for Scott. I've still got to go buy something from him and leave him negative feedback. Lucinda said a new store. I think she left, so hopefully somebody can relay this to her. New store for higher priced jewelry. What platform do you think would be the best for exposure and fees?
Well, we use Shopify, and we're extremely happy with the experience we've had with Shopify.
But the same platform, does that mean like, eBay, Mercari?
But like with you guys, Shopify, how long have you had it open? And I mean, you're driving it primarily through social media. So if a person doesn't have social media, I feel like Shopify wouldn't be very successful for them.
Right? I was going to say that if you compare it with something else, if you can set up a TikTok or Instagram to get the word out about the product, then I would say a site like Shopify would be ideal for that. I don't do any of the other. I don't do Etsy, or I purchase on them, but I have never sold on them.
Poshmark or Cherish, any of those are higher for jewelry. But I don't know. This sounds like a question more for you, Kat, because you do so much jewelry. I mean,
I've been doing a ton of it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to up my jewelry too.
Probably literally
jewelry. I love shipping jewelry.
Yeah. I do sell jewelry. I love me some good vintage jewelry. And I think, I have sold high priced, vintage on eBay. I do think like eBay can be tricky in the vintage category when it's not signed or you don't have specific keywords to make it more searchable. That's where you have to think about it. So if it's sterling, if it's gold filled, like, Victorian, those kinds of things, when it's just like vintage costume jewelry and you don't have keywords or standout things, it becomes difficult to find it on eBay. I also sell on Whatnot, like Kat does as well. And I have seen lots of people sell very high priced items of jewelry.
I've seen like $300 and $400 Trifari pieces sell on Whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen pieces sell for thousands on Whatnot for jewelry. Yes, and lots of people.
You just have to find the right buyers. But if you have the right inventory, they will find you. But that's where you have to catalog. You cannot just run a show like I don't catalog. You can't just run a show when. And I've told this story over and over, and it's from like 3 years ago. I had a viewer that asked me to come to her first show. I went in it and I about fell out of my chair. She made over $2,000 in the first 5 minutes on her first show. Now, she had rare Trifari, she had Shriner, and she had cataloged it. So all of those buyers searching for that high dollar Trifari, high dollar Shriner had found her show, and they were there. And there were not a ton of people, but she 2,000 in sales in like 5 minutes. And I'm like,
whoa.
I'm just sitting there and no followers, no social media, nothing. If you have the right stuff
and you put the right, and if you put the time into it, right, Kat, like you said, if you're going to do it on Whatnot, then you need to preload everything. You need to have those keywords up there. I don't think
she was starting at like 200. She was starting at like 200 and it was going for like 400 or 500. So it was going up.
Yeah.
But she wasn't starting it at $3. She wasn't stupid.
Right. So I think it's really that if you know what you have and if you're using your keywords right, you have good pictures. I don't know that there's one platform that's better than another, just what works for you. That's my opinion. And again, Kat, you sell on way more platforms than I do. I don't know if Etsy is better. I mean, I've had people tell me Etsy is better for jewelry. I can only do so many things, right? I can only stand on my head.
I need to learn that. I need to learn that. I have not yet.
Well, yeah, like there's a lot of things, right? So yeah. But yeah, I think it depends on where you're best, like really you're the one with putting the exposure in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're the one doing the titles, the pictures, putting it out there. I think whatever platform you sell on would work.
I think time is another one. It's if you want a big sale day and you don't have a following, like you have to give it time to list it, take the photos, like they said, catalog it and put it out there. Even if it's not you talking, a photo of something or multiple things, and letting people know how to guide them, I think that's going to be your best bet. I know I could do better on Whatnot. I just don't have the time right now. Yeah. But when I do, I will be making a huge difference in my sales, not only on Whatnot, but also on eBay when I get to actually start static listing things. And I'll get back to my $10,000 months on eBay alone. And then on top of that, the other things that I got going on, I just can't wait. So if you want big dollars, I feel like you got to do more than just throw a hook out there and say, hey, I'm on Whatnot, I got this stuff. Because people will take advantage. I do it all the time. Kat does it too. We go in there and you find an item and nobody's bidding on it. And you're like, you don't have the clientele for it, unless you work towards it in time. And even
you can source on Whatnot all day long.
My boxes have been from Whatnot. But it's like, there's so many things that could go with that. If you want top dollar, then do top dollar moves towards it.
Yeah, so I sell high price jewelry on all of the platforms. I feel like eBay is definitely the highest. Etsy is definitely a good one. I have a $2,000 Trifari necklace up on eBay right now, but it's also on Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari. So everything I list everywhere. If I had to pick where it was selling the best, I would say eBay. eBay's got the biggest audience, but I also do very, very well on Etsy. I will tell you guys as far as Whatnot, and I did 5,000 on Whatnot last week. So I've been having $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 months on Whatnot, and we're running $15,000 to $20,000 a month on eBay. And it's me and one employee doing that. I'm killing myself. But the biggest thing on Whatnot, like I said, is catalog them. If you do specialty show, I'm weird and OCD that I can't start things at a higher price. It's in my head. I know that. The highest I really start is $5. I did a celluloid show on Friday.
That was amazing.
I paid up for that. I paid a lot. I paid over $850 for those. I had a $2,000 show though, and I doubled my money in a day. One day, all gone. Nice. And people got amazing deals. I just sold. I I think I actually only pulled out one item, and it was a Victorian prison cameo ring made by prisoners, and it sold for $135 in one day.
Nice.
It sold yesterday. I listed it the day before. That was the only piece that I pulled out of all my celluloid pieces. I left like an amazing orange carved celluloid and brass necklace. Like I pulled one piece. And I told Prissy, I said, these are higher. I paid a lot for these. And I will tell you, if the bids had stayed at $5 to $10, I probably would have stopped that show.
Okay.
But they weren't. People were paying, and I advertised celluloid show. I showed pictures of the brooches. And if it's something specialized in money, oh, that one's pretty. I wonder if I don't think I have that cameo ring.
Victorian silver
prison
cameo.
rings. Yeah, that one's gorgeous.
Very pretty.
Now I'm
I
curious.
saw
your
somebody
thoughts
selling
on,
cameos for crazy money on Whatnot the other day too.
What are
Oh,
your
wow.
thoughts on Whatnot for the advertising and boosts and all that? Do you do that?
Nope. And I will tell you guys, and it's kind of crazy, but like my Whatnot journey, and obviously I have a social media following, but I quit doing it for so long. My average is 40 people in a show.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I have 20 people in my show. I do not get the hundreds that other people get. I get like 20 because I started doing it, and then I quit for over a year, and then I had an employee doing it, so it wasn't me. And a lot of people, if they're watching me, they want me. And now I've started doing it, so it's almost like I'm starting Whatnot all over again to build it back up, because first it was me, then I disappeared, then it was somebody else that wasn't me. Totally different selling styles, I will tell you. Her and I are completely different. And then now it's me again. So, and I almost had to like get her customers because she had been doing it 6 months, so they liked her.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even know Kat was the nurse flipper. They probably thought it was Shannon, because they're just fine. They don't know, like they have a lot of people on Whatnot have no clue who I am. So I do think like it helps me because I promote my shows. I post on Facebook and Instagram, but I also we have half new buyers almost every single show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but the day before that $2,000 show, I had a $65 show. I talked about on my video tomorrow. Like Whatnot is just as up and down as everything
All the time.
else.
That's what I
Yep.
find so fascinating about it is that,
So
that
crazy.
to get the followers on there and you build up a huge base of followers, but then, like you said, 40 people into a room.
I have 17,000 followers on Whatnot. And
I have a good friend here in Vegas who-
rarely have over 30.
he's a card seller and he's 25,000 followers and he can pull off a show with 30 to 40 people. But where are those notifications for all those people that
I
click that
think they were notifying so much that most people turned them off. I know I did.
Hmm.
And I think it was over notifications. District was like that as well, where I was like, stop sending me notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they turned them
Especially
off.
with
But
Didbits.
I could have an amazing sale with 5 people in my show.
Hmm.
I sold over $600 in linens on Friday, and I think I was down to like 8 people at the end of it, and I sold $600 in vintage linens. And I hope my next one goes that well so I can buy more because I love vintage linen.
Yeah.
But you only need 2. And you
Two.
need two that have the same taste, okay? And I know when those 2 people come in for certain things, and it's like they don't want to let the other one have it. And I'm like, okay. But I also, and I think that all Whatnot sellers should know this and do this, you need to be very cognizant of your audience. I will have stuff, and not crap, but lower dollar, say $15 value that I'm starting at 3, 10, 15 bucks. And I have stuff worth 50. If I see the bidding going well and I know I have the buyers in there, I will throw up sterling $50 pieces for a $3 start because I know what's going on in that chat and I know who's there.
You're playing the field.
Yeah.
Reading
I'm
the
not
field.
going to throw it up on my $65 show. just like the celluloid, like I said, I probably would have run 50 pieces. I wouldn't have run them all because I was almost $6 in per piece if I was selling them for an average of $7. But I think that show ended up averaging at like $17, $18 a piece. And I didn't pull anything back. And people have room to make money, but you can source. I did a show yesterday. I don't know if Elena's still in here. I told Marsha too. Marsha was in there. I wanted to kick myself, and we cannot know everything. I did a house clean out and I bought fairies, and they look very cheap. They are resin fairies. I didn't look them up. I did not look any of them up. I started them at $3 and many of them sold for $3. Well, afterwards, I'm like, let me look this thing up.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know if Dina comes in my chat anymore. She used to be on YouTube, Thrifty Junker. She just has recently come back to Whatnot. She got multiple for $3 that were on WorthPoint, sold for $60, none listed, none sold in 90 days. I guarantee you if she listed it for $75, it'd sell within a month. And she paid $3. And I'm like, son of a, and I told Elena, like, I'm not mad that she got the deal. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm mad at myself because I didn't know it. And so I'll throw those, like I said, I'll throw $50, $60 pieces in there, but I didn't know. So I'm sitting here running for $3. And here's the funny thing that gets me. So one of that like brand, it was Fairy Glen, by the way. It was Fairy Glen. They look extremely cheap. One did not sell. I looked it up. It is worth over $150, and I didn't get one $3 bid.
Holy cat! So other people didn't know either.
For $3, my friends, it is now gone. It will be on eBay, but nobody bid on it, and it was worth $150.
Interesting. Yeah.
And so it depends on who's in. Like if somebody collected fairies, I guarantee you they would have like snapped up all those.
Yeah.
Didn't know about them. Obviously, nobody in the audience knew about them because and sold for $150 on WorthPoint, none listed. So that one's gonna. And I'm like, oh, thank God nobody bid. Yeah, you can't know everything though.
No, you can't know everything.
I don't need to do that. I don't need to look it up after I sold it for $3.
No. Never do that, Kat. Never. Never.
Then I knew, like I said, I wasn't mad she got the deal. I was mad I didn't know,
right?
You know, where I was offering it for that. That's what got me. All right. Real quick, did I get to do organizing with Trish? No. She had a family emergency. She had to fly back to Massachusetts the day before she was supposed to come. And I got her room already and everything. But she is flying back in next Wednesday or Thursday. So Elena, Treasure Diva Thrift, she's been in the chat. She's been coming over once a week, and her and I have started doing the organizing and the inventory. So we've only been doing a few hours a week towards it. But when Trish is here, she's going to make me do it like every day for lots of hours, I'm sure. So once Trish gets here, we will make more progress. Elena just comes over once a week and we have fun for a few hours organizing. Trish is not going to be like that. So when she gets here, probably the end of next week, we will have a lot done. Let me see. Oh, I got to put Clay's super chat. Sorry, I was running my mouth, Clay. Clay said, hi, Kat and Sonny. Clay has been around my channel, I think, since like 100 subscribers.
Yeah, since we started,
Since the very, very beginning, Clay has been around. He said he could buy the bubble machine and make videos popping it. The anti-AMSR. It's crazy, some of the channels. Like, it is crazy. So Clay is going to finally restart eBay. I'm happy. I think Brian's doing it too. What do I want to give you? I'm going to give you the whale, Clay. Here you go.
Aw.
All right. Well, let's do one more question, and then I will let everybody tell you bye. Stacy wants to know, what were the first items you listed?
Oh my gosh. On what? Okay, for eBay, back in the late 90s, I just looked around at collectible type items that I didn't want anymore. I remember one was a gold-plated Mickey Mouse Disney stamp, and it had been given to me as a gift, I think. I didn't want it. I listed it, and it was the best thing since sliced bread. That thing sold, and I got money for it. What a concept. I didn't have to, go to a show or something like that. So that was things like that early on. Again, a lot of art, a line of art prints that I produced were my big eBay early sellers. So that was huge. And then for our by the time we got to doing, our personal, either Whatnot or now into Picker Road, it's just, all the good stuff that I have learned after all these years to find. But the first things were just little collectibles that I had around.
Where I cut my teeth, and this is going to take you guys back a little bit. Who remembers half.com?
Half.com.
That was a subsidiary of eBay, where before eBay really got deep into everything, this is where you could sell books, CDs, videos, and eventually I think DVDs, and then they kind of pushed it away and absorbed it all into eBay. But I started on half.com, and the first thing I ever listed and sold was a VHS copy of Jurassic Park. But there was like this window of time when DVDs were still coming up, and people were still buying VHS, that I was buying and selling books, VHS, DVDs, and CDs on there like crazy. And that was like my first foray into all of that.
Right.
So Jason and I have been doing this for like 20 years, and I can barely remember what I had for dinner last night, just being honest. But I think that I started doing eBay a million years ago. So I went to the place doesn't even exist anymore. It was an auction out in the middle of all the Amish farms, and they literally had like flats that they pulled out with not wagons, but like big tractors, and they had these flats. And so I went out to auction. It was one of the first times, Jason, I went by myself. I was like, I can do this, right? In person, in the middle of Amish country with all these these men and little me. And I bought these boxes with all these ceramic miniatures. And I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact that's what got us into the Hagen Renekers and all kind of minis. But I was freaking out because I spent $30 on this box, and it probably had 200 miniatures, no lie in it. I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me. And it was just the most amazing. You don't go to auctions like that anymore. I sound old now. Yeah, you just don't do that anymore. But anyway, I think that's really probably when I first then was like, hey, I'm gonna try listing these on eBay, and I'm gonna agree. You put a picture up and you list it, and then you're like, you're going to send me money for this? And I'm going to send you the thing? This is awesome. I was like, I'm in.
Two things. Will brought up half.com, and I typed it in, and guess where it led me to? I'll tell you right away. eBay. Went straight to eBay. Hagen Reneker, just 7 months ago, Facebook Marketplace. I was looking up some things online. Person had little miniature figurines, and they had Hagen Reneker along with it. They said they had maybe 90 and they wanted $60, and I'm doing the math. What if I could sell them for $3 each? Don't know anything about them, but I like them because they're small. They didn't take up a lot of space. Yep. It was actually 150 of Hagen Reneker plus another 80 different miniature pieces. The girl collected them. They moved into a new house, and the husband said, you don't even use them, get rid of them. So I ended up getting them. About 20% of them sold for $30. Of the Hagen Reneker. Yep. Tutu's Attic, which is usually inside the chat, a friend of mine here in Las Vegas, was surprised when I had them. She bought a few because she collected them too. She was like, I'm surprised that they actually sell, right? And people were loving them. Sometimes it's not the collection of the vintage, it's more of the animal, the figurine, and how it goes with them, right? That's the different value. For me, February 12th, 9 years ago, this month, I sold vintage little Rustro. Bought it for 69 cents. It sold for around $20. Soon after that, I was very lucky, beginner's luck. Acrylic, great white shark Robert Weiland figurine. Soon after that, within days, the same Goodwill out in Summerlin here in Las Vegas, around 9 or a dozen Estee Lauder rhinestone figure enamel trinket boxes. They were all selling for like $60 to $300, almost $40, $500. I mean, 60 to around $500, and I paid like that $20. So I just was jumping from that first sale to another, and that I remember my first sales.
That's great.
So I started selling in 99, and it was when I had my oldest son, and my ex-husband was in the Navy, and I wanted to do something where I could stay home with my son. And we lived next to a plant nursery, and this guy started antique chestnut roses, and he sold the starts for like 50 cents. And so I listed them on eBay, and that was back in the day when you could pay $10 and be featured in the category and come to the top. So I listed like 100 of them for $10 each, but I didn't have to buy them until I sold them. So I would like list them, and then I would go pick them up. I took pictures of his big plants, and I did, so that was my first, like I mainly did that on eBay. And then I got out of eBay for a while. That was when we were in Jacksonville, moved to this area, and actually owned my own plant nursery. I had like a storefront and everything. And then the funny thing is, Prissy, my full-time employee, and I, 23 years ago, worked together at that plant nursery. And now she is my full-time employee here. We ran into each other at Walmart about 3 years ago, and she was working an hour away and getting part-time hours, and she lived 5 minutes from me, and she started part-time. Then she's like, do you think you could give me full-time? And she's been here ever since. So she worked with me when Brooke, who is 23 now, was sitting in the baby chair behind me in my office at the plant nursery. And when I had my own plant nursery, and this was in 2002, here in Florida, we can get a lot of plants that aren't readily available in most parts of the country. So they have starter trays, you know, like you would get annuals in, you know, like the little 6-packs, but of tropical plants and rare plants. So I knew from working at the big nursery that I could go to this nursery. I could buy a tray of 72, and I would buy them for 50 cents and sell them for $10, and like pretty big quantities. Back in 2002, I think I did like 40,000 on eBay, which was quite a bit in 2002. And I learned they had overgrown trays. So like when other nurseries bought them and wanted to pot them up, they didn't want the overgrown ones, but those were bigger for selling on eBay, and they sold the overgrown trays for only $10 a tray for 72 plants. So I would go out to this wholesale nursery, it's about an hour from here, and I would go buy all these overgrown trays and sell them on eBay. And I did that. I did some of it like 8 years ago when I started getting back into eBay, and I found I didn't want inventory that had to be watered. And if it got too big, it needed to be potted into pots. And so I started doing pallets. And then I figured out that people were sneaky and would put the wrong item into boxes. And I would buy pallets thinking I was getting all this good stuff. And like $50 blinds from Lowe's would have $5 blinds from Walmart in the box, because people do that. And then a gorgeous fan would be missing 2 parts, and I wouldn't find out till I sold it to my eBay customer, and they would return it. And so I quit doing pallets, and then I started doing all the vintage stuff. So yeah, and I've sold, and I've told this too, I've sold on eBay off and on since 99. I've had several different like things, the plants, but I also sold hatching eggs. I sold chicken hatching eggs on eBay. And oh, this is funny. Last Monday, I went to the post office. Prissy was off. They were on vacation. So I went to the post office to drop off the packages. And there were 6 number 7 priority boxes that said, do not x-ray hatching eggs. And I'm like, man, somebody's still doing it. And it brings back memories. And they're doing it in my town, whoever it is. They are selling hatching eggs and they are shipping them. So it is still happening. But wow. I had rare ones selling eggs for $100 a dozen for hatching eggs and mailing them, which is crazy. Wow. But I had like 100 chicken. You can sell anything on eBay. Like you would be, I used to buy mealworms. I bought like my fishing worms on eBay. You can buy almost everything on eBay if you guys do not know that. All right, I talked too long. Let me make everybody big to tell you bye and where they will be so you can find them. And then I will look and see. They were rare chicken. I will look and see who's going to be on next week. Here's Will and Harlene.
Well, again, thank you, Kat, for having us on. This has been so much fun, and I've learned stuff too.
Yep.
So you guys can always find us at pickerroad.com. We right there behind us, and we would invite you to follow us at Picker Road on YouTube.
Subscribe, like, leave comments, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. We post episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and then on additional dates, schedule allowing, we go live as well.
We do live sales. We do live picking. We are here in Vegas. We're in Santa Barbara. We're around the world. And we want everybody to join the journey.
Perfect. Here's Miss Tina.
Thank you so much, Kat and Sonny. This has been so much fun. So you can find Jason and I actually Wednesday night, tomorrow night on Whatnot at 6 p.m. That's going to be under Mother Tucker's Tina. And I do a show on Fridays at 7. And then you can also find Jason here on YouTube Thursday night at 8 p.m. on Enamor Amy's channel. You can follow, if you follow us on Instagram, Jason posts on there, and make sure, you're up to date with everything. But the stuff behind me, if you can kind of see, will be available in his Thursday night sale here on YouTube on Enamor Amy's channel. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys on Whatnot Wednesday and Friday nights. Thank you again so much, Kat and Sonny.
Sonny, what's going on?
I have a miniature show on the 19th on Whatnot. Pretty much it.
What time?
Oh, I think at 6 p.m. sunny Las Vegas time.
Sonny will be on there sometime.
Yeah, I'll be on there Thursday evening. And then I think the 20th or 21st, whatever the Sunday is, it's adult clothing. So a lot of new tags.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Next week, I'm excited about this. We're gonna have Desiree from Jewelry Reseller Podcast. I love her. She is super, super knowledgeable on a lot of things. She's very, very smart. And then Buy Low Sell Chai is a new guest. He has not been on before. He will be on with us. So it's always fun when we have new people. Tomorrow at 3:30 am doing new old stock Avon sterling silver in the box. $5 starts again. I did pay up for it as well. And if I run out of my sterling, I have non-sterling costume Avon new old stock in the box I will do as well. And then I can't go past 6 though, because I'm babysitting. I haven't had a baby around in forever. My friend said, Kat, I don't trust anybody else with her. I'm like, okay, bring her on.
Look at her face.
She's not like little. She's 18 months. But so she's bringing her over. I told her I'd finish at 6. And then Thursday, one of my favorite things, Victorian trading cards. And I actually have some that are on fans, which is really cool, and on some different like bigger things. So I'll be doing Victorian trading cards on Thursday. We are going to be at Renninger's at the Antique Fair in Mount Dora Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Elena will be there, Treasure Diva Thrifts, George the Antique Nomad. He sent me his booth number. His booth number is 2035. So if you're going to Mount Dora, ask for a map. Mount Dora is acres and acres. If you've never been there, it is the only mountain in Florida. If you think there's not, wait till you walk around Mount Dora for a little while. Yeah. So George will be there, quite a few people. And if you message me on Facebook or Instagram while I'm there, I will tell you where I'm at if you would like to meet me in person. It's giant. So chances of you running into me are probably pretty slim, because I think it's like 30 or 40 acres. It's a lot. And we'll be there. I know Friday, Saturday, depending on how good the booths are. Sometimes I skip Sundays, so I might not be there Sunday. And then I might do live jewelry shows from Mount Dora, but they'll be pop-ups. So just watch. And then Monday, I am doing my vintage costume jewelry again, and I've got a ton of good pieces. So, yeah, Mount Dora is fun. Mount Dora is really fun. So if you're in Florida, definitely come. And I think you do have to pay to get in. I think it's like $5. It's not much. So come and see us. Will and Harlene, thank you so much for coming on. Tina, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Sonny keeps coming back. He says I don't fire him. He keeps coming back, so it works. And all you guys in the chat, but yeah, we can't. There's no contract. We can't do this without you. We appreciate you, Marsha. Guys, follow Red Cardinal Treasure. She moderates for us every week. I do not pay her, and she is absolutely amazing. And she's been putting out videos, and she is not yet at 1,000 subscribers. So please go follow her. Here, and also I think she's going to be coming back to Whatnot to do sales too. So we will see you guys next week. Bye guys.